Divorce is one of the worst things that I possibly have ever gone through. Now, while divorce is a legal process, it's also very much an emotional process. And divorce is second to death in emotional pain. During a divorce, you're going to feel all sorts of emotions through the loss of your marriage. You're going to go through grief. You're going to go through a divorce, and then you'll just be divorced. And while that grief does become more manageable, it never really leaves. I'm 3.5 years out of my marriage, and I can still tell you that that grief still washes over me from time to time. Hey guys, it's Mark. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're obviously talking about divorce. There is, in my opinion, not enough emotional support for men. And there are a lot of things that I wish I would have known going through my divorce as a man, as a father. So my hope with videos like this is to provide you some quality information so that you can work through your divorce, through your grief, and show up a better person on the other side of it. One of the best things that I found during my divorce was philosophy, and most specifically, probably Stoicism. It's a very practical, approachable philosophy. In this video, I'm going to give you 3 ways that I think Stoicism can help you through your divorce. Okay, let's talk about what Stoicism isn't really quick. It's not about not feeling your emotions. It's not about shoving them down. It's a philosophy for how to practically and logically approach life. It helps us control ourselves, especially during those very emotional highs like you experience during a divorce or loss. Okay, so moving into the first point, the dichotomy of control. One of the first things that you will probably likely learn about Stoicism, if you're not already familiar with it, is you need to learn to know what is in your control and what is not in your control. The idea here is to focus on what you can control and let go of anything else that's outside of your control. You're not going to be able to control the court systems. You're not going to be able to control your ex. You can't control your kids. You can't control your mutual friends. Just let go of all of that and just focus on you and what you can control during this time. Focus on you and your mental health. Focus on your day-to-day and work through the grief as best as you can. Exercise. Focus on your hobbies. Focus on anything that is directly within your control. So what else is inside of your control is your reactions to your emotions. Viktor Frankl, psychologist and author of Man's Search for Meaning, stated that between stimulus and response there is a space, and in that space is our power to choose our response. You're going to go through a lot of emotions. There's going to be so much flowing through you during a divorce. Grief is a very difficult thing to move through, and it is a fucking roller coaster. You're going to have a lot of triggers between you and your ex during and post-divorce. You need to understand when you're going through an emotional high that it is best to just sit back and not respond and wait until you're in a calmer, more logical area before you respond. And then also realize that sometimes it's best not to respond at all. When 2 people are going through a divorce, all those emotions going through both of you put you in a spot that it's maybe just best not to respond whatsoever. Your ex is going to be part of the rest of your life. You need to take this lesson to heart and master your reactions to your emotions, especially anger, which is a huge part of grief. And it's absolutely normal to feel anger, indignation, but you need to work on your reaction to that. There is never going to be a situation where responding with anger is going to help the situation. If you're a father and you're approaching the co-parenting relationship with nothing but anger and resentment and you're not helping it, you need to move. You need to be able to control your reactions and control yourself during this process and show your children that it's possible to have these feelings and not treat your ex and their mother or their parent disrespectfully. The last point I want to make here is ego. Ryan Holiday has a pretty great book called Ego is the Enemy that goes into the stoic approach to ego. You need to keep your ego out of everything. Like most cases, ego is just going to get in your way. During the divorce, it's best to self-reflect and work on yourself. There's definitely part of this marriage where you contributed to its failure, and those are the areas that you need to focus on, the areas that you can control, and make the efforts to work in those areas. Now, I said self-reflect, not self-shame. We're all human. We all have areas that we need to work on to show up in our lives and into public with other people a little bit better. You need to recognize those areas within yourself with compassion and do your best to work on them. Doing this, keeping your ego out of it and self-reflecting and growing will allow you to be a better friend, a better colleague, a better father, a better human when you're interacting with others in society. it's also very likely you're going to end up in another relationship, and you want to shed all of those behaviors and grow as a human so that you're not bringing all of that into your next relationship. I personally believe that the reason why your people's most second marriages have such a high failure rate is people don't put in the effort to resolve their issues and work on themselves before they enter into another serious relationship, whether that's a marriage or a long-term serious relationship if you're choosing not to marry again. All right, guys, thank you for watching all the way through. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Don't forget to subscribe so that you can see all future content. And if you're interested in why you should be approaching love with caution, go ahead and click this video right here, and then I will see you in the next video. Thank you.